Welcome back, everyone, to Sanity Lost, a show where things happen, and we missed a week, and I forgot to record something. So, hey, everyone, we missed a week due to schedule conflicts.
We're not dead.
Yeah.
Yet.
So, if you guys are listening to this, even just 1 week, like, if you guys start next week, this still wouldn't affect you. That only affects potentially one person. Depending if they're caught up or not. But anyway.
Yeah.
Or on the YouTube. I think we have a pretty decent thing since YouTube allowed people to switch playlist over to podcast feeds.
Ooh, that's fancy.
But I haven't looked at it in a while.
Well, that'd be a fun surprise to go and check that out.
Well, in any case,
You're
it gives
right.
you a little bit of easier time catching up, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
True.
1 week. And guess what, guys? Everyone died. We are actually clones. Welcome to the new Fallout 2080 podcast.
Wow.
That's right. We went a whole 20,000 and 50 years, 60 years.
No,
Well,
Matt.
we're actually
Yeah.
this is actually all
math.
deep fake, completely AI generated now.
Yeah, this was actually just a big ploy. Now we're gonna start Point Horizon podcast, where we're just gonna watch Point Horizon every week and just talk about that. One of the greatest movies of sci-fi horror.
I might be out.
Event Horizon.
I don't know what I said.
I think you said Point Horizon.
Point Horizon. I think I was getting confused between Point Break and Event Horizon.
That's what that was. I know. I was like, are we talking Point Break or Event
Dude, that
Horizon?
would-
What?
So we're watching both.
we actually watch both at the same time. Like, you put it up on both monitors, and you watch them at the same time, and then you
No.
just have...
We have
Even
gone
better.
crazy.
Even better, not two monitors. They're both interlaced, and they're
Oh,
interlaced
no.
together.
Yeah, like, every other word switches between
You have like
each
audio
I was-
from one.
I was
movie
thinking
and
the
one
scan
headphone
lines.
And...
I was thinking the 1080p scan lines, except for 1080i.
Is it like one of those things where it's like, if you... it's like those videos where it's just like, if you, where someone is like saying a lyric, but it has two opposite words, and if whatever word you look at is the word that you hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
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 So,
That would be so disorienting. No,
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
speaking of horror, though, I just finished like a whole bunch of like classic old school horror books.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, mainly because I ran out of credits on Audible.
You had to go for the free stuff.
Yeah, but what order did I do them in? I did the Mad Case of Dorian Gray.
I
Jekyll
love
and
that
Hyde,
book.
and then Jekyll and Hyde, and then I finished up with Frankenstein.
Okay, nice.
It's too bad I can't just loan you one or a couple of my audiobooks.
I know. That should be allowed. We should be
Eh.
allowed to loan audiobooks.
I don't know. I've started also going through like world history because I realize I don't know as much as I want, and I think I would make a certain political party and age group very mad of like what I started looking into.
Oh,
Yeah, China. I said it on
Oh.
stream. It's like it's really interesting because it's like this other book series I read, which I think this author, she is very quickly, not quickly. I think she is like my favorite modern day author.
I feel like you've talked about her before. This sounds.
Oh yeah, I have.
familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
R.F. Kuang. And so, but like going through like Chinese history, I'm just like, oh, okay. I kind of see the threads of her first series where they pull from, and I'm like, great. Now I want to read that book again. But yeah, nah. It was the Case of Dorian Gray was okay. Like, it wasn't my favorite, but like I liked the concept of it. I didn't like Lord Henry, that's for sure.
I don't think you're supposed to.
That once again depends on who you are, but
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. It was just more of those things where it's just like Dorian. Dorian's like, I found the love of my life. She's amazing, and he's like, women are supposed to be left in the closet and only supposed to be brought out to look good, and even then, that's an 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so, but yeah.
Yeah,
Sadly,
I mean,
that
I
used to
don't.
be the common thought.
Yeah, I don't think that Lord Henry was written as a character that you're supposed to like look up to, right? Like,
It's very much like I looked at it as kind of him and the painter, who I keep forgetting what his name is, as like the shoulder angels for Dorian Gray.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Dorian was just like, oh, heck with you. You just made me sit in a chair.
the Basil was his name.
yeah.
Basil. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jekyll and Hyde, I think that's really interesting because every iteration until I read the book, Jekyll is like this meek, mild, like old man, and Hyde is just like super jacked, steroid, like overdosing freak. And in the book, he's just like, he's a dwarf. Like, he's like this decrepit old dude. Like, it's flipped.
Mm-hmm.
As Hyde's just like, I'm a weak old man that is like on drugs.
Yeah.
So I guess I got the steroid part right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Frankenstein was just cool.
Yeah. 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 I like all those old books. They're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're gonna do a hard left turn, and now there's a giant, very ugly monster in the middle of Centralia holding a painting of some hot dude. So
That would be a very sudden change.
the thing is, if I did say that, you guys would be like, "Oh, it's Theodore." It's like, no.
Know
like
that we
the one
love
thing-
Theodore. We just want
it's-
Theodore around all the time.
Oh, the thing is, when this is done, I will have to tell you guys the inspiration for Theodore.
We have to have a whole like debriefing session just about Theodore. We need to know his whole backstory
that is
and where he came from and what he
No.
was so yes.
no.
This is what I'm demanding. When we get through 100 years of playing, I have to know everything. Everything about Theodore.
You know what? The way we're going, this was supposed to be a lot shorter chapters, but
I know.
Streaming from the nursery home.
I guess it's best where you roll the dice. John's on life support.
I can barely hold them.
And Nite still thinks he's on a roller coaster in Disney. Woo, I'm Stitch. Ah, great. Anyway, Pickles comes and he...
Oh my gosh. We're already so far off the rails.
Yep.
Had you expected anything less?
No. Never. Never.
But here, I know what we can do to bring ourselves back. I just need to click this. Oh wait, no, hold up. I forgot this one doesn't have the music loaded up into it. I gotta click this, and then I gotta click this one. No, that one, thank you. There we go.
It's your favorite music.
The music has started and the theme is set. Last time, because as I think we said either before or after we started recording, it's been almost 2 to 3 weeks since we last played. Everyone had some sweet dreams, some good old dreams where they met their good old neighbor or friend who likes to eat pie. And I don't know, some of them could have been traumatic, some couldn't have, but it is now it's early in the morning. We see an old vehicle pull up. The rumble of the engine kind of slowly dies as we're standing out in front of Dean and Maura Hudson's house. The place where Skip Thompson is staying. He woke up, thought it was weird, and went back to sleep. But now it's getting close to the time that I can't remember that Skip said he wanted to be picked up. We're just saying it's that time because I don't remember what time it was. So Skip, you would be up and ready as you hear a knock on the door.
Right, so Skip would be, kind of going about getting ready, and, would be maybe, like, kind of initial, like, focused on just kind of his plans for the day, and so, like, has a brief flash of annoyance at being interrupted, but then realizes it's probably his ride, so kind of brushes it aside and goes over and opens the door.
And on the other side of that door is a tired-looking man with a wiry frame with thick glasses. This is, as players will remember, Mark Poe, the librarian for Centralia. The Centralia Public Library. As he stands in front of you, is just, "Hello, I was told that I have to drive you around town."
Skip is a little impatient and still trying to get ready, and so it's just kind of brusque, and it's like, "Okay, great. I have a few things I need to get together here. I will meet you out at the core, or I'll meet you out at the car in just a few minutes.
No problem.
Stand by. I will be with you shortly." And he kind of just spins on his heel and shuts the door right in his face.
And you just hear like through the door, "Just like my grandkids," as he kind of and he walks back and he sits in the car. So so what else do you need to do to get ready?
Nothing major, just kind of, getting...
There's a power play.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. 100%, yeah. Just kind of, like, getting a couple of, like, his, some writing materials down, putting a bunch of stuff in a briefcase that he doesn't really need, but makes him look fancy. Just kind of makes the driver wait a few more minutes, just so, trying to, set the, he's on my time, I'm not on his time kind of idea. So, just kind of, wait about 5 minutes, and then I go out to the car. And, is he already in the car? Is he outside?
Oh yeah, no, he's in the car reading a book.
I walk up to the back door of the car and I just stand there.
He just keeps reading.
Skip raps on the window of the car, kind of impatiently.
Yeah, he just like slowly closes his book and like pulls his glasses off, or readjusts his glasses and slowly rolls down the window. Yes.
Skip's kind of like looking at his watch and just sort of like impatiently looking around, and he's like, you're the driver, right? You said you're my driver?
I was asked to help you, yes.
Great. Can you get the door here for me?
Oh. I guess you lost use of your arms in the war. So sorry. As he kind of slowly gets out of the car, and after like to you feels like precious minutes as he sets his book on the passenger seat, unbuckles, gets out of the car, opens up the passenger seat. "Here you go, Sir Purple Heart."
As Skip starts to Skip gets into the car, and as he does so, says, "Now listen, if you're going to be driving me around, you're going to be working on behalf of the military, and we have decorum and a certain way of things are done. And so
real quick, you said you were getting in the car while you
yeah, just kind of like sliding into the seat.
Yeah, so as soon as you're in there, like, in a moment, you're just like, okay, and he just shuts the door on you, and just slowly steps around, like, he's finally dressed, so he's just, like, pulls his, like, suit and just, like, and then gets into the car, and he's just, like, picture this, like, this guy in, like, kind of, like, I forget what it is, but it's, like, kind of, like, a vest, like a dress vest, and, like, dress shirt, but it's, like, all black, and, like, it's just very morbid kind of looking, where he's, like, but, like, he's also wearing, like, leather driving gloves as well. So he's just, like, and then, like, if you're still talking, he just, like, when he opens up the door, he just slowly gets in his seat, listening to everything you say, buckles his seat, and then slowly, like, turns around, just like, so, Mr. Purpleheart, where shall we go?
Skip is very annoyed. And so he, just kind of narrows his eyebrows and kind of gives him a hard look and gives him a very brisk, take me to the mines.
Which one?
What do you mean, which ones? The mines, the main mines here in the town.
Well, we have a few different dig sites. Well, there's the main coal one, then there's the offshoot that they still go in and check to see if there's anything left in there or any other veins.
And Skip cuts him off and says, just take me where I can meet Buck Kelly.
Okay, you do realize we will be going to Mount Carmel for that. He was attacked last night, weren't you told this? He's in extensive care. His wife is up there. His wife is being watched by, I believe, Cora.
Right.
Cora, Miss Richmond.
Right.
And,
yes, I forgot that was him. Then who would be his backup? Who would be in charge of the mine now?
Well, that would be, Mr. Winter and his son, most likely.
Perfect.
You would probably, I don't know, it depends which one is there.
Either one will do. I have a lot of just paperwork and formal kind of routine things that we need to talk about in regards to the military's interest in this mine. So either one of them will be perfect.
I'll take you to the son, because he has a driveway, and I'm not ruining my car going to the mines. And he just starts driving, like, before you even you even say anything.
Skip is so annoyed.
So
so Skip just kind of like crosses his arms, sits back in his seat, and just kind of like stares daggers at this guy.
Don't worry, PH. I get the same look whenever I tell someone they have an overdraft fee. Let me tell you a tale. There once was a young man. I called him the Smoocher of Innocence, and we kind of fade away as the car goes down the road.
But we need the rest of this story.
That's Patreon content.
That'll be in the debrief in 100 years.
Yeah, in 100 years, someone will ask, what is the Smoocher of Innocence story? And, I don't know, I'll make something up then.
There you go. You got plenty of time to work on it.
Yeah, I got 100 years.
The story has only a title.
Yeah. But it is a legend in library lore.
At least it is now.
Yeah. So, oh, hey, roll your stupid luck.
Every time.
57 over 39 for me, and I gained 4.
Mm-hmm.
I may or may not have already rolled that, just not actually added it in
All
quite
right,
yet.
let's see. Ugh, I
36
doubt I will
under
get
60.
this. Nope.
I don't think I've gotten a luck roll yet.
2 under 77.
You have a brand new character. You don't need a luck. Sorry, Elizabeth. What did you say?
2 under 77. So.
Oh, only if you could spend luck to increase your luck. Oh, wait a second.
Yeah, that's no thanks.
So yes. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna roll a D100 here. Elizabeth, high or low?
Hi.
Okay. So Elizabeth, at this point, wait a second. I rolled an 8, not an 80. Never mind, you have to wait. So, Caleb, you are at this point. We're gonna just say, mainly because I can't remember what time. John, do you remember what time you were telling someone to pick you up?
Early. Like.
Yeah, it was like early so that I would be there as the mine like
opening.
opened or right around then.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we talked about the mine opening
At
like
7.
I was gonna say like between 7 and 8.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's
so.
probably like 6:30.
Yeah. So by the time after all those shenanigans, actually roll. I almost said alertness. Is it alertness or is that a different game? Where's my character sheet? There it is. Yeah, there is no alertness. What the heck? What game has? Oh, I think that's Delta Green. I was gonna say, well,
You have perception. We have perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
there is a perception.
I thought so. No,
I know
I
there's
guess
spot hidden. Spot hidden, the most used thing.
At least
How
for us.
about? Or is there? I'm trying to think. Navigate. There we go. Roll me a navigation roll.
Where is my navigation?
It is
top
at
right.
the top, all the way to the right.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right. Yep. Rolled 36 again. That's 36 under 40.
Okay. You notice that. Well, actually, you don't even know his name because you didn't ask. You know this man that's driving you seems to not only be going under the speed limit, but seems to be taking a more roundabout way across town.
Okay. I kind of, after noticing that, I lean forward and say, excuse me, where are we going?
We are taking the scenic route to the office because the winter son that you want to meet, he normally gets there after dropping off his child. So, I can either just continue to show you Centralia and give you a lay of the land, or I could just take you there and you can wait either in the car or in the reception area as you for, I don't know, at least an hour.
Skip gives like a deep, like annoyed sigh and thinks about it and says, no, this is fine. I certainly hope that this isn't an indication of how well this mine is run. No wonder the foreman's in the hospital. No, this is fine.
Okay, PH. Let me know if you want anything to eat. We can stop somewhere. And he just keeps driving as he continues on with a completely different story of...
As he's doing that, Skip kind of like isn't paying attention at all and just interrupts him and says, you said you're the... I'm sorry, what is your name?
I was wondering when you were going to ask. My name is Mark Poe.
Mr. Poe, great, wonderful. Thank you for driving me around.
And what is your name, PH?
My name is, you can call me Officer Thompson.
Okay.
Um,
Mr. Thompson, we are off to an excellent start already.
yes, we're gonna be best friends, I'm sure.
I think so as well.
So tell me, Mr. Poe, what do you do?
I am the town librarian.
So, all right. Well, if you're the librarian, I imagine you get you have connections in the town. Yeah, you know a lot of the people here.
From overdraft fees to friendships, yes, I am quite a hoot at the parties.
I'm sure you are. Wonderful. Great. Have you ever heard of any groups of problem people or troublesome groups gathering out here in the mountains?
Are you talking about the event from 10 years ago? 9, whatever it was. He doesn't say that. That's me forgetting the timeline. I think it's like 8 to 9 years ago.
Yeah, Skip kind of raises his eyebrow quizzically and is like, I don't know what you're talking about. What happened 10 years ago?
Well, there was a group of street clowns, a road circus, I believe they called themselves. And, they seemed to be causing a lot of trouble in the town. It seemed at first they wanted to just cause fun circus stuff, but we found out, with the help of definitely 3 individuals, which now is 2, that they were actually part of some cult group that was going around and taking people. In fact, I myself was taken. It was quite interesting, but yes, they were able to pretty much get the town back, and all these other people that were taken. And some sort of deal was struck where this, I believe his name was Uncle Buster, couldn't come. He was the most odd little man. Imagine a toddler with a 5 o'clock shadow.
Skip kind of is just like not really following, and he's like, clowns? No, I don't care about clowns. What
You didn't let me finish. You see, the one person that I said that is watching the Kelly's child, Cora, and she was in with the Smoocher of Innocence that was looking up a certain group. A certain, I believe, cult group. I had to put the books away, so I saw, and this is where I'm gonna come out because I don't remember do you remember the name of the cult?
Yeah, I can look it up. Hold on.
Yeah. So I do have something written down. I just want to make sure whatever you guys know. Just a quick.
It might be in my other notebook though.
Okay, well we'll do this. We'll say this. They found certain ties to New York, because I do remember you guys knowing this.
Yeah.
Some New York cultic groups, but let me just say, as a person interested in, investigating certain things and a cultic nature of that, because it is a thing of interest reading some of the old stories. It turns out that they were part of a group called the Eyes of Ophidian. Weird snake weirdos, but don't know why they turned to clowns. But yeah, they went around, and apparently every couple years or so they go on a tour to pretty much kidnap or take people. It's but the last I heard, no one's known where this Uncle Buster is, so either has been arrested, killed, or just fell on bad times. Who knows? Maybe he even went to war.
Skip says, the eyes of Ophidian, you said?
Ophidian. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. It's a ancient Greek snake person.
Skip kind of like mutters to himself, and he's like, sounds German. And so he looks back up at Mr. Poe, and he's like, "You said there was a woman in town that was looking into them or researching them?"
She was at one point, but to my knowledge, she stopped it. It is Miss Richmond.
Miss
Cora Richmond.
Cora Richmond. And he pulls out like a notepad and jots down her name and says, "And what does she do in the town currently?"
Well, let's see. At this time, she's probably making sure her delinquent son is getting to school.
Okay. Does she work in the town, or
Oh,
is she
yes,
married,
yes.
or?
Was, but that is not my story to tell. But, yes, she works at the general store. She is a real nice young woman. Fell in some
General
hard times.
store. Perfect. So he jots that down and says, "Let's make a note. I would like to, after we're done at the mine, I would like to swing over and speak with Miss Richmond afterwards. I definitely have some questions for her that I think can be helpful to her country."
Alrighty, Mr. Thompson. And we're gonna flash forward to the point where kids are at school, all that stuff, unless there was something that Nite really wanted Caleb to talk to with Sarah.
Nah, I was not sure what I had planned for today anyway.
Me neither. So
I think we're somewhat waiting to hear from the Kellys on how Buck is doing, so we could get out to the hospital.
Right now, Skip is the mover of the story. So Skip, you pull up to this kind of old shack, kind of like this metal, like kind of put together. The only way I can think of is the outpost at Calvary. that same material, but I can't think of what it's called. But that reference doesn't help anybody except for maybe half of the people here.
You're thinking like sort of like a metal building that at the mines that's like for office area.
Yeah, it's like part office, part where they keep like the maintenance stuff. So you see the garage door open.
Yeah, so like
isn't that what Caleb did? He
yeah, I mean he's primarily the mechanic.
The mechanic
shop.
And I imagine at this time, like you're more of a leadership position in the like you still get your hands like in there, but it's much more of like unless you think otherwise. You have been brought up a little bit more where like maybe you run the mechanical shop and have a few people under you now.
Yeah, so. I think that's fair, and that kind of flows with the Winters being sort of running the shop and Daddy Winters being Buck's second-hand man at this point, I think.
Yeah, soon it's just gonna be like Sarah's all of a sudden gonna like take over the mine and it's be like, oh, it's great nepotism. But anyway,
it's the way of the world.
Sarah's mine. But yes, you. But anyway, you pull up and Mr. Poe. Yeah, he's just. If you go right through there and ask for Mr. Winters, you will find him. His name is Caleb, by the way. Shock of red hair. It'll be impossible to miss him.
Skip sits there and says, "Okay, great, thanks."
I will be here, or unless you need me to open the door for you.
That would be perfect. Yes, please.
And once again, he slowly gets out, unbuckles the seat, and slowly opens the door. He's like, "There you go, Mr. Thompson."
Skip gets out of the car and says, "Great, I hope this won't be long. Please don't leave. I will definitely need your services."
"Don't worry, I will be here."
Skip just kind of like gives a curt nod and walks off towards the building.
All right, and like you walk inside, and then Caleb, you're there, and it's like you weren't expecting Skip to come, but you hear like the door open and close, and you think it's one of your workers, and you about to go out to give like kind of the orders for the day, and you see the military man that you saw at Sheriff Hudson's office the other day, and just kind of seeing you, and then just like power walking towards you.
Yeah, Skip sees him with the red hair, and so immediately locks onto him and like beelines, with his hand out, directly towards him, and is like, "Are you Mr. Wanters?"
And quick thing, remember, this is the most beautiful man you've ever seen in your life.
I was gonna say we have to say that again.
Yes, he is an Adonis. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly, but he is beautiful.
So Caleb kind
Continue.
of looks at this beast of a man walking up and just like reaches out. It's like, it's Caleb is fine. Who do I have the pleasure of addressing?
Caleb, perfect. You were just the man that I wanted to speak with today. My name is Agent Thompson. I'm with the U.S. government, and I'm here today to talk about how you and your mind can do your part for your country.
Well, I'm sure I can at least answer some questions. I don't have authority to sign any paperwork, but I'm sure we can work out whatever you need worked out.
Skip kind of like, brushes the concept kind of off to the side. It's like, sure, not a problem. We don't have to get to any signing of papers now. Really, I'm just interested in, going over how the mine is run, getting details about operations, yield, output. I've also heard that there are some other mines in the region, and I would be interested in, hearing the same information of those and getting kind of a general idea of the output of your product and just, kind of how productive the mine is on a day-to-day basis.
Sure. Well, my office is right over here if you'd like to join me in my office, and we can sit down and have a chat. I might have to step out a couple of times to get my guys up and running for the day, but it shouldn't be more than a minute or two.
Perfectly understandable. Please lead the way. And he, kind of gestures and makes to follow Caleb.
We head over to a probably a slightly cluttered office, not super like messy or anything, but just a bunch of papers on the desk and things like that. Just gotta get you anything to drink, coffee, anything like that.
No, I'm fine, but thank you.
All right, so
I have a question about Caleb's office, though. Is it kind of like Homer Simpson's like office where he has that sign filled with pictures of Maggie, like saying do this for her, but it's like a whole bunch of pictures of Sarah like all over the wall, just
Oh, that would be so sweet.
I mean, I'm sure he has at least a couple of pictures of Sarah on the wall and stuff that maybe a couple of her papers that she's drawn.
Roll me a D100. Roll me a D100 real quick.
What do we do?
Yeah, roll me a D100.
2.
Okay, you only have 2 pictures.
I mean, I
imagine would have been like.
I wouldn't see him having like the entire wall covered in stuff, but.
Oh, I was gonna make you have your wall covered if you rolled 67.
I'm sure you would.
You were gonna have 67 pictures of. You're that dad. You're the social media dad before the.
But I'm sure he'd have pictures of of her drawings when she was younger and
Yeah, I was gonna say you never
early schoolwork
replace
papers
them.
and stuff.
She's like
Right.
13, and you have when she was 6 still hanging on your wall.
I
she comes
remember
by
when I picked her off the street.
comes by the office like, Dad, why do you still have that?
I'm gonna take a book out of Timmy's playbook and set this all on fire like you did with the library. The Great Fire of 1960 in the 1940s. It was Timmy. Anyway.
Do it. So I guess we sit down and discuss whatever questions about the mine.
Yeah, I don't know that we know enough about mine details.
And fast forward to the end of this conversation.
So, we'll we can give you all the details. Let's you guys can figure out like we can give John some like maybe a couple minutes to think of specific questions that he wants to get to ask Caleb. Well, we'll jump over to Cora. So Cora, you are now at the shop. Your precious angel and the Kelly kid are at school. And you're there, and you hear the bell go off as someone comes in.
Okay.
And it's you just hear, "Now I heard you had a problem with some little glass box thingy. It's Old Man Pap."
Oh, Old Man Pap. Yeah, actually, how did you hear about that?
I hear all. I'm old.
Yeah. Well, I need to get into your network, man. Yeah, Timmy accidentally knocked my oh no, it's too late at night. What is it called? My telegraph. Yeah, my telegraph machine off my desk, and it broke. You know how important this is to the town, especially right now. I'm wondering if you can take a look at it and see if you can get it working again.
Yes. Do you mind if I just go into your office and just work on one day? Okay. I brought my tools with me, and it's like, and if I remember, I think Caleb rolled like a repair check or something like that, and got. I think if I remember, it's like physically back together. It's just not mechanically back together.
Right, I think so.
And like, yeah, he looks down. He's just like, yeah, okay. Give me an hour and a half or so, and I'll have this back up and working. I might have to order you a new glass, but
that's fine. Yeah, just let me know how much I owe you, or I could even put the order in through the store.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out. And while you're in the office, you hear the bell ring again.
Okay, so I turn around and walk back out to the front.
And it is Ashley out there. As I forgot his last name, Ashley Carter.
Oh, Ashley. Hey.
Hello. I don't remember his voice.
I don't think it was that.
That Brannigan here. Ashley Carter.
Oh no, I can't. Not that
People
voice.
love me.
Not that voice.
Hello. I'm Skip Thompson. John is not amused. But anyway. So Ashley's just like, hey, this is my voice now until I go back and listen to the old recordings and remember it. But I thought his voice was a little bit deeper. Now I think about it. I thought it was more like whatever. His voice, he's just like, it's a bad. If I could talk.
You all right?
Hey there, Cora.
You all right this morning?
No, I'm not all right.
Schnapper toast.
What's wrong?
It's delicious. Oh, hello there, Cora. It's are you are you ready for tomorrow?
Cora is very confused.
Let's see. Is there like memory? If
Cora doesn't have it.
Roll luck to see if you remember what he's talking about.
Okay. The crux of our relationship. Ooh, I do. It's a 53 under 77.
Okay, you remember that tomorrow night is the mayoral candidate debate.
Oh,
where
okay.
Ashley Carter is going to debate against Carl Giuseppe in Town Hall.
Are you ready for tomorrow night?
I don't know. It's, to be honest, it's, I never done anything like this, but it just felt like something needed to happen.
Oh, I mean, that's for sure. I think it's time for, Mr. Giuseppe to go into retirement.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's, he wouldn't say man. I don't know, Corey. It feels weird. It's, honestly, I think this whole election thing's getting in my head. I had a weird dream last night where it was like pretty much me and Jillian, like, I don't know, back when we were in Pittsburgh, and it wasn't a great time, and then all of a sudden Carl was there just saying, vote for me, or some ridiculous thing like that. It was absurd.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it weird?
No,
man,
Ashley.
This election thing must be getting to my head.
No. Carl Giuseppe was in my dream last night.
Man, for someone so big, he gets around. I figured we could smell him.
Well, he did feel very wet and squishy in my dream.
Moist? What some people might say moist?
Yeah, it's not a good word.
That's for you, certain people listening. Moist.
Oh,
Moist.
Ashley.
Good with the Sanity Lost podcast until they started just chanting moist over
Moist.
and over.
This
is an episode.
Moist.
I don't like this.
The moistness or the dream?
The dream.
Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page, but look, it's... I don't know much about Centralia before I got here, but it's, I don't know, it has to be stress related. It's not like magic actually exists.
Yeah, you're probably right. Well, what can you do today that that'll take some of that stress off? Have you practiced your debate points yet?
Jillian is tired of hearing me say it, and I went over it a few times, but yeah, I think today I'm just gonna go kind of go through the different areas. I think yesterday, well, I was gonna go up to the mine, but unfortunately, Buck Kelly and his accident. Have you heard anything?
No, not yet. I'm still waiting. I don't know if they'll know anything. It seemed like he was in pretty rough shape.
Yeah, well...
Have you heard
knows?
anything about the miner that did it?
Pat? I don't know, he just... I think the story he was going with was that it was a bout of madness.
Right, is he okay? Has he recovered?
It seemed like he recovered. For last I heard, he's... I don't know, Hudson might know a little bit more, but...
yeah, I haven't seen Sheriff Hudson in a few days.
That might be a question for Caleb. He seems... If I didn't know better, I think he likes her. He's always spending time with her.
With Sheriff Hudson?
Yeah.
Oh,
Have you noticed?
well, you know how you said earlier that you don't know very well the history of this town? Well, that's one relationship that I think you've had to be around a little bit to really understand.
I hope I'm misunderstanding. It would probably break dear Rose's heart.
I don't think Rose has anything to worry about.
I hope that's true.
I'm positive that's true, Ashley. Don't go spreading that rumor. That's not...
I'm not spreading rumors.
Well, you know how things
it's
get around in
political
this...
intrigue against Carl.
Yeah, you can spread that one. Well, do you want help prepping for your debate tomorrow?
Sure, if you're not too busy.
Cora, gestures to the store. I'm free until someone comes in.
Hey, and he starts kind of going through his different points and going back and forth, and yeah, I guess we'll shift back to now Caleb finishing giving like kind of the basic overview of the mine, and was there anything specific that Skip wanted to ask him?
I don't think so. I think probably the best way to play this would be, after talking and getting the data from Caleb, Skip likes what he hears and wants to move forward with acquiring the mine, kind of taking over the mine. So basically, after getting that information, he's kind of jotting information and kind of reviewing statistics, and kind of nods to himself, in the affirmative, and looks up at Caleb and says, all of this is fantastic. This is exactly what I was hoping to see. I think your mine is very productive. It appears to be very profitable. And I think this is really going to be beneficial for the military. We definitely going to owe you a great debt, or a great deal of or be in your debt for the functions of this mine. And so he kind of looks down at the paper and he said, so then really all we need to do is start finding the person who can sign the paperwork, and the US government will come in, and we'll start taking over operations of the mine. Of course, we'll want you and your workers to be on hand at the beginning to assist with the changeover. And certainly we'll keep some of you on because you are obviously familiar with the mine, and we'll want to keep that knowledge. Unfortunately, we won't be able to hold on to everybody, but everybody will be able to rest easy knowing that they're doing their part in assisting their country in winning this war. So our country owes everyone here a great debt in their willingness to transfer this mine over, and hopefully we can get this started and get things going.
I mean, this all sounds like it's kind of above my pay grade ultimately, but don't you think it'd make more sense to just have the government pay us to operate the mine instead of taking over the whole operation?
Well, we're not looking to spend money here. I'm sure you can understand our resources need to be focused towards the war effort. So in this situation, we're just looking to acquire resources that we're going to be able to leverage towards the war. And in this case, your mine is the materials are going to go towards creating tanks and warships and all kinds of things that are going to help our boys overseas. So we're not really interested in expending money. I'm sure you can understand. And so bringing our people in is going to be the more cost efficient option.
I don't know about that, but I guess ultimately you got the only one that can sign the papers on that is going to be Buck Kelly, and I think you heard about the accident that happened there.
Right. He is in the hospital. Is he conscious? Are we able to talk with him?
I haven't heard. I'm actually waiting to hear back from them, find out how he's doing. But yeah, I think he's the only one that could really make that kind of a decision for the mine. He's certainly the only one that could sign any kind of paperwork on it right now.
Sure, that certainly is a bit of a speed bump. Maybe I can swing over, but where is he located currently?
I don't know exactly. They didn't tell me exactly where he's going to be.
He would have known that he was going to Mount Carmel. Like, I think
it doesn't mean
Caleb's
you're gonna tell him that.
Caleb's still not gonna send
I'm just making sure your character knows.
Yes. Yeah, but he's not gonna sending this government boy that's seems a little gung ho at the moment to go interrupt the recovery.
Town?
I was gonna say, it's okay to be a little pissed off at the fact that we're coming in and putting everybody out.
Like this doesn't sound right to me. This definitely don't sound right.
Yeah.
Now, out of curiosity, how annoyed is Skip in general at having probably over the course of half hour to an hour conversation, having like 6 or 7 people come in and just ask Caleb some real quick question and like interrupted every few minutes?
I think it would be fun. I mean, he
It's
knows
no
how
Poe.
like, yeah. I mean, he knows how like the world works. So I mean, as long like it would be one of those things where like he would let you go off and like talk to whoever you needed to, and just kind of would be poring over notes and data and whatnot. So he probably wouldn't have even really noticed who you were talking to, or what you were or who you were interacting with.
So you hear a knock at your office door, actually.
And come in.
And it's actually Mark Poe.
Oh, hi, Mr. Poe. How are you doing?
Hello there, Mr. Winters.
Skip looks up at him and says, "Is there something you need? Is
Not
the car
from
okay?"
you. Oh yes, the car's fine, Mr. Thompson. Don't worry. I just remembered, Mr. Winters, your daughter. She is getting very close to going over due her books. So just a reminder, I don't want her to have to pay late fees. That is all.
I'll make sure.
Closes the door. Like, he doesn't wait for you to finish. He just closes the door and he's just like, and then you just hear, "You, sir, your kid," but hold on, he's like, "You, sir, your child," and like he's just kind of going through, just like reminding people that their kids or spouses or themselves have close to overdue books.
So now Skip.
Impressive memory of Mr. Poe.
So now Skip is a little annoyed just because of the way he did that. And so like he kind of does one of those things where like he scooches his chair up a little closer to Caleb and is like, "What's with that guy?"
Oh, Mr. Poe, he's the nicest old man. He runs the library.
You hear that? No, I'm just joking. I'm nice.
And Skip's like, yeah, no, I know he runs the library. Is he all together? And kind of like points at his head.
I mean, you hear him out there talking to everybody about their potential late fees. I think he knows he's perfectly well together. Is he? How do you know? How do you know, Mr. Poe?
Oh, he's driving me around. He's the driver they assigned to me. So he drove me up here this morning.
Oh, he must be doing a favor for the. Who was it that was going to get at the driver? Was that the
Hudson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dean Hudson.
Yeah, he must be doing a favor for the Hudsons.
Yeah, Dean Hudson. I'm staying with them. He said he was going to get me a driver, and so I guess he picked him. And I mean, he wouldn't have been my first choice, but if he can drive a car, that's all I need right now.
Yeah, try not to go too hard on him. He's a nice guy. Yeah, I mean, he's not usually just a driver, and he doesn't usually just drive people around. But I guess he had some time today.
Well, I'll take your word for it. And then he says, anyway, you were going to tell me where Mr. Kelly is, where the hospital he's at.
I just don't know at the moment. I'm hoping to hear from them later this afternoon.
Do you know anybody who might know where he's at? The sooner I can talk to him, the sooner we can finish things up, and I can get out of everybody's hair here.
I mean, nobody's told me at this point, so I'm waiting to hear.
Maybe you think the sheriff would know? Maybe I could go and talk to her.
I think at this, I want to roll. Let's have a roll. I want you to roll. I guess you're trying to persuade.
Yes.
or-
Do we have persuade?
Yep, it's in the same column as navigate.
Yes.
And then I'm trying to think what kind of role. I think they would kind of do the well. Yeah, Nite. What do you think Caleb would be rolling to
Maybe
kind of resist?
maybe like an intimidate, because you're kind of like firmly like standing up and like I don't know. Or I guess you maybe charm. I mean, you could do charm.
Or gun magic.
Caleb doesn't have his gun right now.
You're supposed to have it all the time. What are you doing?
It is securely. Not that Skip has any idea about this, but it is securely at the sheriff's office. Because Caleb has not mastered the rune
that's
quite
right,
yet.
because you can't. Yeah, you can't hide it yet. I forgot. Yeah, I know. There needs to be some level of like evade or something. Like,
I guess psychology could also work, where it's just
Psychology could work. There's also a fast talk. None of these are particularly great for Caleb.
yeah.
well, you got luck. But then again, not. But remember, failing isn't the end of the world.
Well, it also
either.
depends on what Skip rolls.
Yeah,
I
Skip
will
also has
say-
to roll.
I know what
Persuade is
Skip's-
my second highest skill.
I was gonna say, we already heard what the what Skip's skills are there. I mean, this is something I think even it would take a lot for Caleb to just let this go at this point.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So how
yeah.
about whatever you're trying to roll, add an extra 40% to it, because you are very staunch. This is one of those things where I don't want to tell, but it's just whether he just needles out the right information or something. It's very clear that you don't want to say, and you're being very guarded. But it's I think a roll right near to see what could potentially happen would be good.
Well, that's not good. That's a 96 over the 15 fast talk, or the 55 with the
That's a
bonus.
crit fail.
I thought it was 97 was the crit fail start.
Let's see. I'll look it up. I thought it was 96.
Let's see if I can find.
A fumble.
Uh-oh.
If a fumble bad luck occurs.
Hello?
Hmm?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
My computer just froze up.
Oh,
How dare it?
fun. If the dice roll required for success is below 50 and the dice reads 96 to 100, a fumble has occurred.
Ah, well, that's no good.
Yeah, so this is a fumble. So, John, why don't you roll? Did you pass or?
Yeah, I rolled a 70 under 85.
Okay. So, yeah, you don't want to tell him, but with a fumble, you don't know what hospital it is, but you can you have to at least tell him what you know, which is the town.
Well, I guess the metagaming is that he would have already heard that too. So I'm something about
Yeah.
Mount Carmel, I think it was. And that's all they told me.
Mount Carmel, huh? Well, I'm sure they've probably got a hospital out there, so maybe I'll swing over there then. That's something at least. And then Skip he just kind of stands up and is like, well, I appreciate your time, Caleb. And, sticks his hand out to shake his hand. and says, or hopefully, this will all go quickly, and like I said, I'll be out of your hair soon.
And Caleb's gonna not be shaking that hand at this time.
Skip kind of does, like a confused, like just kind of pulls his hand.
Uh-oh.
There, his computer died now.
Oh no!
His computer froze.
What happened?
Yeah, when you walked out, his computer froze. So, well, you know what? This will be fun. So this is what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna assume John's character Skip's gonna leave and head out. As a dog comes into Elizabeth's room. But
there's a whole bunch going on in the John and Elizabeth world over here.
But Caleb and Cora, at the same, like, as soon as Skip leaves, and as soon as, like, Cora, you're in the middle of, like, I don't know, pulling out flashcards for Ashley. You all get, like, you get a phone call.
We
close to
both
the
get
same
a phone
time.
call at the same time?
You guys both get a phone call. It's in the cinematic version, it's happening at the same time. It could be one right after another. But you guys get a phone call, and it says it's Miss Kelly. And she's like, Buck, woke up. And we'll see you guys all next week.
Bye.
Maybe with 100% more John. Whoa! We already know he's upstairs, like, being super mad at his computer
rebooting
right
his
now.
computer. Yeah.
So we'll save him the time, and because that's kind of how the episode was going to end anyway.
That's a good cliffhanger.
So especially for John, because he doesn't even know what happened.
Now I'm so worried that he's gonna go and take over the mines. Oh my gosh.
Okay, we're gonna let everyone go so Liz can tell John to not stress out. So, thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.